Oh, God, they've got the worms. They've got the worms, haven't they? I absolutely love these.
Do you need anything, Gary? Are you all right? Do you need anything?
No, I'm good, thank you. No, I'm good, thank you.
All good?
Yeah. Lewis, are you enjoying it, this new role?
Yeah, it's been...
Kieran's in.
It's different. It's different to what I'm used to, yeah. But yeah. I really enjoyed coming on last time, to be fair. It was unbelievable, yeah. I watched it with my family. It was like a pretty unreal experience. I was watching it with my family, yeah.
Knowledge is unbelievable. Who's this gift for, Lewis? What's Ben doing?
That's for Ashley.
Is it?
Yeah, from our friends at ARNE.
Oh, wow. No, you leave it on his spot. Yeah, Ben, it's good. Can you get me some gear as well? Are these the Marks and Spencer's ones, Lewis?
I think so, yeah.
Here we are.
Right, yeah. Here we go.
You're there.
It's really, why is it, Gal, there's an intimidating factor coming in.
Ash, little present for you from Arne. I know you wear it.
Thank you.
Do you open it then, Ash?
Let's open it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, how many of these? Why don't I have one?
Can you send Wazza
Still buying it?
You're on 17 million.
Exactly.
We can swap.
Ash, so last week, we have to start with this question. You don't have to answer it. So last week we went through all our highest salaries that we earned during our career.
Don't embarrass us.
Don't embarrass us, yeah.
To be fair...
Wazza blew us out of the water.
It was determined that Wazza was on an incredible £17 million. Yeah. I was 1.75, which was, to be fair, pretty low, considering where I played. And
the more you think about it.
So Ash, really kill me now and tell me what your highest...
You don't have to if you don't.
You don't have to if you don't want.
Yeah, you do. Come on, Ash.
But it's helped to show.
200 a week?
10.
Yeah.
10 a year.
Killed him, man.
Oh, I could have a yacht.
Yeah, but you love United.
I love United. You're right. Wow. Well done, Ash.
Well, that was my issue, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Whenever you're homegrown, they try to stiff you.
Yeah.
That's what you'd have had, but just got stiffed your whole career.
Gee, how many bags? Oh, what shoes.
Do you know when I said last
Love a
week
pair
on the
of shoes.
show that you shouldn't leave for money?
Oh, that's similar to what you're wearing.
I think I could have played for Chelsea. I could have played for...
Let's look at him, Ash.
Oh, yes, Ash.
There, weren't they?
Look at them.
Wow. Yeah, they're very Ash as well, aren't they?
Yeah. Just chilled, aren't they? Chilled.
Yeah.
TV pundit shoe.
TV pundit shoe. Yeah. Normally black and white, though. Look, it's a TV pundit shoe.
Ash, how are you?
Not too bad. A little bit tired. Got back late last night, but all good.
Fellow fullback Hall of Famer, Ash, eh?
Yeah. Oh, congrats,
First
by the way.
Thank you, Ash.
Nice of you
Did
to
the
turn
public
up.
vote for you or your mate? Would have been the public, wouldn't it?
You know what? I don't know, actually. I don't know how it works.
Ash, give it to him, Ash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how does it
Good,
work?
right?
The previous winners.
Thank
For
you.
their thing.
Yeah.
Can I give you that as well? Sorry.
Couldn't have voted for the first two, could they?
No, I think that was the public done that. I'm not sure who done the first two.
So who voted your one? The public?
No.
I think the
not
public
everyone.
voted my one.
Previous
Mates.
winners.
Class of 92.
The public voted that one. The second one. I think the public voted that.
All right, Ian. You get it.
No,
You're
because
popular.
because I don't.
Am I the only one not in it?
I don't.
I'm never getting in that.
Not yet, eh?
Yeah, give it another 20 years.
It's all about It's all about the nominations. You know, if you pop up, James.
Well, hang on, I've got a few mates in there, haven't I?
Yeah, you have. Yeah. Who you know?
Who's there?
Roy's got the Salford City jacket on, hasn't he, there?
It's nice, man.
that as well.
I like it. With this, what's this
Did
girl?
you change the colours of the kit? Did I read that right?
I changed it back to orange, yeah, for next season. Yeah, with a vote with the
okay.
fans. The fans vote, yeah.
And what's this one? What did you say about the Hacienda?
Yeah, it's like the Hacienda.
Oh, is that what that is?
Out, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Nice.
Yeah.
You done the Hacienda, didn't you? Hey, look, nice. Salford.
Salford City.
Okay.
Stick to Football is brought to you by ARNE Clothing. You're a massive Arsenal fan?
Yeah. We're going to go there already?
That left side of Arsenal, to be fair, there are very few teams that we had to change for, but we definitely changed.
And it was probably a target our right side.
If you think about the Invincibles versus Jose Mourinho's Chelsea,
Wow.
Yeah.
who wins that game?
Wow.
And I see them all in the mix zone and they're laughing at him. no, you don't disrespect my teammate like that. Like, show respect. We can't all be what we are for our clubs. People have to be a little bit more selfless. And I don't think we were. It just didn't work.
Just said, well, them older players are so important to learn from.
Ash, it's are you the first fullback we've ever had on? Should I think have we ever had a fullback on? Or Dennis Irwin we've had on.
Yeah. How can you fear Dennis?
Exactly. Sorry. Ash, go back to the beginning. We've all obviously got stories of our childhood of when football came into our lives. When did it sort of start for you? When was the first time you really remember?
Probably about 7 years of age in my auntie's garden. So single parent family, obviously just me and my brother. Growing up in East London, you know, it's not a concrete jungle, but there wasn't too many places to go and, you know, recreation places to play. So it was more in my auntie's garden. And just, yeah, always with a ball, to be fair. Loved the game, loved watching it on TV. Wasn't good at 7, you know. My attribute as a young boy growing up was I was just fast. But loved watching football whenever I could. Loved watching, you know, Sunday leagues. We had a park where I lived called Weaver's Field in Bethnal Green. I used to just go there a lot. It was a recreation park, swings and slides, and there would always be a football game on. So, you know, you stand on the sideline and enjoy watching these guys, you know, play football. And that was when I kind of started to get into it and enjoy watching football. And then probably the age of 10, that's when I started to...
Was your brother older or younger?
No, a year younger. Year younger than me. None of my friends really played it around my area at the time. Like I said, there wasn't too many places to go and play. So it was either in someone's garden, and in East London, there was not too many gardens around with grass. So, you know, I went to Stepney to my aunt's house and we used to just play in her garden there.
Who were your early influences, Ash? Like, who was the person that sort of like got you into football or made you think, oh, I want to sort of play and stuff?
David Rocastle. Yeah. So probably now at the age of 11, 12, I was on Arsenal's books.
Yeah.
And I had a little bit of like growing pains in my knee. I had the opportunity to go to Highbury and see, who was it? It might have been physio there.
Was it Gary Lewin? No?
Gary Lewin. Gary Lewin had to come and look at my knee, and David Rocastle was on the bed. And he was like the first one that spoke to me, took time. Didn't really get to meet the first team players, you know what I mean? They were secure and
Over the other side.
Over the other side. But see David Rocastle, I was a left winger at the time and a striker, so to get the opportunity to meet him and be around him, and you know, you have these people that influence you just by the words, just by saying hello and how are you? Oh, what position do you play? And then ever since that, it was, you know, we looked a little bit alike. I had like that long face, that, you know, the kind of a little flat top. And yeah, I just wanted to emulate him and play like him. So growing up, he was my idol.
And you're a massive Arsenal fan?
Yeah. Are we going to go there already?
No, a bit early for that.
No.
Get there.
No, we'll get there, Ash. You don't need to worry about it.
Talk to us about
No worries.
I mean, this is a journey that I think most fullbacks have been on, where you start off in a different position and then you end up sort of coming back. Carragher, you obviously even defender. Carragher, you were centre forward, you said, and you ended up back at centre back and at fullback. Just talk to us about being a left winger, obviously, and sort of when did that sort of journey at Arsenal go?
Well, I started as a striker.
Oh, you're a striker.
So I was a striker.
Goal scoring striker, just.
Yeah. I would do all right with the goals, to be fair. I would score maybe 30, 40, sometimes 50 a season. But this is as a...
Under 11s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not Arsenal. This
Okay.
is, you know...
School football.
School football, club football. I played for a team called Puma. Bunch of friends from my school. The dad decided to start a team, and we was half decent. We would compete with Semrab, who was a top team at the time.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let us in their league because two rivals, and we played in the Waltham Forest League, so we was top there, and they played in the Echo League, which was the best league.
Did you ever get to play Senrad?
I think we played him in the final, so that would have been Ledley.
Jermaine?
No.
John Terry?
JT, Paul Konchesky, J. Lloyd Samuel, Paul Nichols in goal. So they had a
Proper team, yeah.
top Sunday League team. And I was a striker there and I was really skinny as I am now. I was slight, I didn't want contact to just run behind.
Yeah.
And at that age group, if you're quicker than people, you're one-on-one with the goalie all the time. So, I started to transition a little bit deeper and back in that back line around maybe 14 when I went to Arsenal, and now you're a schoolboy. Wasn't strong enough, wasn't good enough, wasn't technical enough at the time
To be a forward or a winger?
To be a forward
Okay.
at Arsenal. It was the physicality starts to now impact you at that age.
Who was in your way then? Who was the forwards there then?
It would have been Danny Boateng.
Right.
You know Boateng?
No, I don't know him.
So he was like 12, 13, 14. He was the size he is now. He was strong. But he was fast, and he had an eye for goal, left and right foot. I was predominantly only left-footed. Could swing the right, but it wasn't great. But he could play off both feet. He could finish. They missed the left winger at the time. That allowed me to play as a left winger. And then fast forward another 2 years, and then YTS, first day of pre-season, I think it's David Livermore does his cruciate. So I'm in the under-16s, first year of YTS, under-18s, does his knee. They call me over and now I'm a left-back. And that was it. I was an attacking left-back. We had a really, really good youth team, but that was it for me as a left-back. I didn't move from...
Who moved you there at Arsenal? Who sort of...
It would have been Don Howe.
Don Howe?
Don Howe was the under-18s manager, and we had Don Givens. Don Givens loved him. And they must have just seen something in me. I like to attack and try to, put my foot in. I had to find a way to compete against these bigger players, so it was tackle hard and fast. I could get you from our goal to the opposition's goal quite quick. So they saw that attribute in me and allowed me to bomb up and down and play on the left side alone, really.
Did you like the defensive side of it, all of a sudden, just tackling people in that?
Yeah, I did. I think where I grew up, East London, quite tough and rugged, and we played in a cage and you had to be tough in that cage. I did like the physical side. I had to find a way to survive in football, and that I had to...
Yeah, I didn't realise you'd worked under Don Howe, because obviously I worked with him with England, and even though I only sort of had probably a couple of years with him, it was a massive influence on me in that couple of years about the seriousness of concentrating on your defending in training and details around set pieces. And even if you won a game 2-1, he would come in and be angry at the end of a game. And I'd never really experienced that at United as much, where, we won games, didn't we? Sometimes you might discuss a goal, but you won the game. He was very much obviously defensive focused. What would he have had a massive impact on you at sort of that age? Would he have sort of, how long were you with him for?
No, he did. He had a huge impact, not just on me, but I think Arsenal youth team set up at the time. I think the system was good, but I think people like Don Givers and Don Howe, set the tone, set the level, because discipline, if your boots are dirty, you'd probably get that at every club, but they were, if you know Don Howe,
Old school.
Don Howe, old school.
Eric, you would have had
Very
United.
Very similar. Like very aggressive, very determined, coach you to the inch. Like, if you're an inch out of position, he'd be telling you you're an inch out of position, that type of coach.
Yeah. So he was very influential, and as I said, not just me, but the group. So he set the tone from day one of pre-season, and we knew the discipline was a big importance for the club.
Yeah.
And it just allowed us to... He wanted you to play free, of course, but the details you used to coach was amazing as a defender. Amazing.
I wasn't going to throw it forward at this point to this question, but I think off the back of what you've just said, we've seen so many players take that journey from being a winger to a fullback, but never been able to get the actual defensive bit right, as almost as if to say it doesn't matter as much. And there's some quite big fullbacks who've gone back who are better going forward. But if you said to me at the end of your career, I'd say you were a better defender than you were an attacker. You've actually made the full circle from a left winger who, to be fair, obviously is better going forward, maybe in your early days, to a point whereby you're an unbelievable defender. So it can happen, that, can't it? And, people say that maybe it can't happen. He was always an attacker, so you should let him be type thing.
No, again, look, people that certainly influenced me, as we just mentioned, Don Howe would have been certainly one in taking pride in actual defending.
Yeah.
1v1s, move your feet, show people down the line. Whatever my strength was speed. So I'm going, okay, Don, how do I defend 1v1? How do I defend an overlap? And he was very specific in the details he gave. You know, what do you want to give up as a fullback? You know, what's my strength is speed. Give up the line, and then you've got to work really, really hard to stop across.
Yeah.
So that kind of detail was from him. And then going forward in my career, then, of course, people like Tony Adams, Martin Keown, that was the real game understanding of youth team. You know, if I could attack. If we concede, we concede. We're winning 10-1.
Yeah.
But when people's jobs are on the line, managers, kind of older, experienced players, Tony Adams would not allow me to let a cross come in the box.
You know, when you talk about, I think it's interesting you said about Don Howe, because you absolutely rave about him. I didn't have anyone like that at England. When I was coming through as a younger player at Liverpool, it was always about like what you did on the ball, really. I can't remember any coaching as a defender. I don't think I really got coached as a defender. I mean, like proper detail. I think till Benitez came in. Was you like that at United?
Off Eric Harrison, we did defensive work, one-on-one work every single day, heading work every single day.
I love when you say there, going back about stopping crosses. That seems to be lost on full-backs now, isn't it? I love people have the pride going back to them Arsenal days, or even as a young kid. Brian Clough would be the same. Full-backs stop the cross, and it's almost kind of forgotten about now. It's like
the basics, yeah.
Yeah.
But I, to be fair, played with Ash a lot, obviously with England, and obviously, I always imagined you were more modern, and you hadn't had that sort of what would be old school training ground. That's something that I'm learning here today. That you actually, that's a massive impact on your career to be able to have that Don Howe sort of school, and then obviously having Tony Adams and
Pat Rice.
Pat Rice. Would Nigel Winterburn, that he'd have been the first team left back at that time?
Yeah, I wasn't. I might have trained with them 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
But Lee Dixon on the other side, because he was still in the squad. I can't remember where Nigel went after Arsenal.
West Ham.
Did he go West Ham?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And Pat Rice was a fullback, wasn't he?
Pat Rice was a
so
fullback.
that would have helped you as well, working with a coach who's played that position.
Yes, and I was so raw. There were so many mistakes I made. Like, of course, like I just said, I was certainly coached the defensive principles, but you know, when you're going into senior football, when you're playing against top wingers, I made mistakes. My aggression, I tried to jump in and lunge in, and better players was just taking it around me. So I had to learn on the job.
Yeah.
And with the experienced players, as I mentioned, people like Tony and Martin, they gave me the character building of going, that cannot happen again. Yeah. You know, I want you to be right next to me. And then I learned on the job, I need to be close to Tony Adams. Because,
He's shooting himself.
He didn't want to defend the space. He was an older defender.
No, I played with Tony with England.
That one.
I played with Tony with England. It was, to be fair, it was his principles of back four. But staying with Steve Bruce, you had to be literally that sort of distance was like everything to them.
Good.
But then I had to do my job and get out and, again, stop across.
Yeah.
So it's a sprint. It's not a jog. You cannot amble out. It's a sprint. Do I show him inside? No, because I know Tony's not going to be there, so I need to show him the line. Now I need to work my feet.
Yeah.
I need to get my distance right. I need to understand the strength of whatever winger I'm up against. So there was a lot of factors, but again, as I said, I was learning on the job, and I made many, many mistakes.
But I'm interested, if Arsene, when you're winning lots of games and you give up a goal, would you still be annoyed as a back four?
Yeah.
Even if, I love that. I love when I hear about that pride in defending.
Yeah.
You might have won 2 or 3, but you give up a goal at the end that where you're like, the defenders are fuming with each other, taking responsibility.
Tony was like that. Don was like that.
Yeah.
They were more than at United, to be fair. They were very, very like sort of traditional in their approach to.
We wouldn't be too bad at United, even as a team, if we gave up a goal, but if we'd won 2 or 3.
I don't think we came at the end. There wasn't an autopsy at the end whereby you're going through that goal we conceded. Sometimes with England, I remember playing against Japan, and literally we came at the end, we conceded from a set piece, and Terry Venables went, "Well done," and Don's like, "Well done," and he stopped to cross him. I mean, his assistant, I was like, "What the hell's that?" And he's, "You conceded from a set piece. We can't," you know what I mean? Before we had the plaudits out, and he literally came in and sort of dressed people.
Don Howe presented us when I done my pro licence. He came in and presented the certificates or the licence, what you got at the end, and he was so passionate when he was presenting us.
Incredible.
So I can imagine what he's like on the training pitch. This, and he was like, "You should be proud of it." He was showing. We were like, "Oh my God, it's just it was." But obviously, he had a big cared about the game.
The one where you're talking about to go, and I've been there as a defender. I think if you win a game 2-1, it's a tough game, and you come in, everyone's delighted. I get that. The worst one as a defender is when the game's won. It's 3-0. after 70 minutes, and you can see one in the last 5 minutes. Oh my God, you want to kill each other? You know, you've almost like, they've won, they've got their goals, they're up, but we haven't got, we want
Everyone
our
wants to
clean
score
sheet because
quick, yeah.
someone's been a bit sloppy or someone's switched off because we win, and that was the worst one. You know what I mean? Sort of late goal, you'd be like, oh, fuck.
I don't know if Tony had like a clean sheet bonus. No.
I was going to ask about
That's
that.
how Duke was,
Maybe
but yeah.
they had that, so they took pride. You know, it's whatever. Could have been
surprised.
£2,000-3,000. I don't know, but at that time, it's like
I didn't have it.
it's important.
We know.
How many bonuses?
Yeah, just the thingy that though, I don't think he would have had it, because he was the same when I got there in
Right.
90s.
Okay.
He was exactly the
Just
same.
proud, honestly.
Yeah.
Just clean sheet was everything to him. It was like, you know, we're keeping it clean. It was just constant. This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by ARNE Clothing. This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by Huel. Oh, I need to come down and watch the show in London.
Hunger Games.
Mia is in the Hunger Games in London. At which theatre?
It's called the Troubadour. The theatre's been purposely built in Canary Wharf.
Yeah. In fact, you're going to take one of these on the way. Are you going there this afternoon to watch it?
You know what? Mia could do with some Huel.
Could she?
Yeah, because she's...
How much energy does she have to...
Oh,
It must be like hard work.
it's like she's running... I don't... You know what? I'd love to know what the step
Heart rate.
count is, yeah.
Yeah, steps in heart rate.
Well, it's because the show starts at 7:30, doesn't finish till sort of 10:30. Then she goes on. She's probably not getting into it like a flat at 11 o'clock, so it's an awkward one eat-wise.
Yeah.
So, Huel.
Mia, take some Huel Light as well. 25
Yeah,
grams.
that's what we need Huel Light before she goes to bed.
Yeah, 25 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals, and only 190 calories.
Wow.
You got to the gym this morning?
No, I haven't, and I've had no breakfast, so what do you recommend?
Chocolate, strawberry or banana? What are you going for out of those three? Go on, you're going to see Mia, so you choose
Mia
one.
would definitely want one of them. I think she'd go strawberry.
Well, do you take both? For what you and Mia?
Mia,
take
that's for
priority.
you. It's for you, my honey.
Strawberry.
Yeah.
And then... you're
I'll go
taking the
chocolate. I do like chocolate, yeah. Can I have it now?
You can have it.
I've had no breakfast.
Yeah, excellent. You had bacon sandwich, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, half of one. Half of one. Yeah, but it's 1:05.
You're right, good point. We're in snack time. New customers get our exclusive discount plus a free gift at huel.com/the overlap. That goes for all the range, including the brand new Huel Light. This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by ARNE Clothing. As just going forward, you're a coach now. Our young attacking fullbacks, is there that level of defensive knowledge, expertise, detail to be able to hand over now to players who are going from that transition from winger to fullbacks? It's a journey that most fullbacks make. You're not started as a fullback, you've started as a winger or a forward, and you're coming back there along the way. Our coaches, because they work on patterns, they work on shape, I think the methodology of the game, the data, but the detail of how to defend one-on-one and stopping crosses, is that existent in the game now?
I'll probably say there's two parts of that. I think because these players are playing at such a young age, they're kind of learning on job, right? Learning in game. And then the second part of that is, do they have coaches around them that are willing and want to help these individual players
One-on-one.
get better? Because like I said, I had Don Howe. In age, he was quite old, but he was very enthusiastic and infectious in wanting to better me.
Yeah.
Pat Rice, getting older, but loved coaching, individual stuff, and specific to me and defenders.
Yeah.
And then he's going, do the players have time?
Why don't
to
they
learn?
have time?
Because it's
Is it sport
load.
science?
It's load.
Load.
Yeah.
Load. He's done too much. Well, us with England, we get them now. We've got 10 days to work. We do have to cram a lot of stuff in, but we take pride in going, we need to hit this. We need to work on, how you jump and head off one foot. I still see defenders now jump off 2 feet and they just get a little touch, and now the striker's in behind. He's like, no, getting your arm across, put all your weight on your back leg and push and head. And we don't just head the ball away, we head to pass. They need to practice that. So we take pride in doing that, the extras, and trying to help these players be better, because we understand at the clubs sometimes they don't have enough time.
But is it a challenge for the top players? You've got England under 21 players, and England, I'm guessing you dominate a lot of games.
Yeah.
But a lot of your defenders maybe aren't getting tested. Is that a hard part of your game? You might have 70-80% possession more. It's like playing for a top club. Some of these defenders aren't really getting tested week on week.
No, I agree. So that's why it's important from the coaches to help and develop these players as much as they can, not just for playing for England, but whoever they're going to play for, because they will come a moment, whether it's in a big tournament, where, I don't know, you've not had to deal with crosses in the box. So we might work on crosses in the box. We try work on every aspect of how we defend, you know, from how we defend the 18-yard box to then how we want to build out, but then the second ball, smoothing it out, and we don't just want to head balls away. We want to find a pass because we want to continue to attack.
Even when you watch the Premiership, don't you see whatever would stop them crosses, but the opposite fullback, when balls come in, fullbacks don't even seem to know how to defend a cross. They seem to be all like, they don't even get their body positions right, because as if they're not doing it in training. It's
They're not even looking to see the coming around the back.
Could I ask you about, you know, obviously you're into the coaching now, and you've got your badges, and you've got a good role with the FA, and when you put on defensive stuff, how much is that you've learned through the coaching, and how much is it your actual experience of actually being on the pitch? Because when I talk to, say, my son, he's a defender as well. Obviously, I'm not a coach. I've done I never put a coaching practice on. Anything I ever say to him is through me being in that position in a game. How do you sort of, how much do you sort of give them from sort of a coaching aspect, but actually your experience that maybe a coach who hasn't played in your position mightn't understand exactly what it was like in that, you know, situation in a game? Yeah,
I find it, look, I enjoy it and love the coaching aspect. What I tried to do on my journey was, you know, this is why I went back to Chelsea under 15s, so I can just kind of learn what players need. I look at the fullback who I was coaching. He's a 14, 15-year-old. He don't have the same profile as me. He don't have my mentality. I'm not going to tell him how to defend like me. I'll just give him scenarios. Look, as a principle, we want to, centre-backs cannot go inside the 6-yard box when we're defending wide balls, wide crosses. So I would just try to give them scenarios of them understanding what type of cross is going to come in, what kind of profile is in the box that you're up against. So is it a big 9? Is it a small 9? How does he move? Where does he like to attack? But try not put me in that scenario. Right. I'm putting you in that scenario. If you're 6'5" as a fullback, you can't move like me. I'm not going to tell you how I would defend. I would just tell you, look, this is where the danger can come from. Body shape and body position might be a little bit more open because you need to see more of the pitch. But I did find that was quite hard right at the start. I'm going, I would do this, I would do that. No, we're different. I'm not going to ask you to move and stay close to Tony Adams like I did and then be able to sprint out. I'm quicker than you. I've got, my attribute is short, sharp, 5 metres, I can jump to people really, really fast. A big fullback this day and age maybe ain't got that profile. His attributes are not like that. So I have to learn and find a way to coach you by using your strengths and your weaknesses.
Would you all give me the same answer? You know, when Rashford cut in the other night and he puts that ball, a lot of crossing over, like in-swingers.
Yeah.
What would you all give me the same answers? 3 defenders there to say, when Rashford steps in, he's going to put in, if you're defending, would you be trying to step up then? Because
as a centre-back or up against...
Or a centre-back or a full-back. No, just say he's cut in. I'm on about you're defending the cross. What would you say when someone cuts in like Rashford the other night, he's going to whip one in? Would you be saying you're trying to squeeze out? Would you all give me the same answer, or would you give a different answer?
I think
when you see an in-swinger, he's cutting in, as soon as you know he's going to be putting in, would you, I think you're on about principles as a defender, would you be saying, let's get up, lad?
As soon as he stops the ball to come back, you have to hold your line at that point, I think.
What forces down the line, Gal?
No, what I mean is if Rashford goes to go down the line on the left and then turns back to go and cross, as soon as he turns back, you have to hold your line and try and step up and just hold that line because they're going to carry on going in, you're hoping.
So you hold your line, you don't drop back in. Kane scored the other night from inside the 6-yard box with a header.
If he's stopped to go back onto his right foot, the minute he stops to go on his right foot, you have to hold there.
But would you give the same answers? Would that what the defender would be thinking?
When I mentioned before about, I felt like the first time I really got coached like in real detail on defending was Benitez, so we would work on that. So if a left winger's going down the line, and as soon as he checks to go that way, we'd be up. We would be, and that would be like almost, obviously not as good as the Arsenal back four, but when we were with Benitez, we were very like clean sheet. Everyone knew exactly what they were doing.
You take a chance on somebody making a little run. You would think that's...
I wouldn't say we'd take a chance, right? I think we'd know exactly, right, this is the scenario. He's going down. As soon as he stops and checks back that way, we're coming up.
Yeah. That's more as a group, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Talking about individuals. 1v1. That's more... It's very difficult for the fullback to, once you chop, because the forward's always in control. So once he chops, then I give up what you're saying. You get to a point, then you have to hold. But then that's more as a back four or back five, whatever.
Yeah, well, I have to say, I mean, Ash, I don't know what you think about this, but most of the players I played against in my career, 99% of them, as a right back, the left wingers were left-footed.
Yeah.
I always remember playing against Figo when he was on the left, because obviously you had Cristiano on the right, and that was tough for me, because I almost wanted to show him the line to stop the cross, but he'd always know he was cutting back. That did provide a problem for me. I found that difficult.
And for us.
No, because it was unusual.
Yeah.
Unusual for us to play, but now every winger is almost opposite footed.
Yeah.
So fullbacks must be more used to it now in terms of what's going on. I just want to ask you about it, because I'm looking at you from a person. Obviously, when I played with you in England, you're really quiet, quite unassuming. If you said to me that you would be a coach, someone who's obviously giving instructions like you are, how would you sort of differentiate Ashley Cole, the player, from a personality perspective, to Ashley Cole now as a coach? How are you speaking about the game in detail?
I think I've always been quiet. I think, I was, I had my moments. But from the age of 13, 14, I've always been the one, I try to be respectful to my teammates, respectful to my elders. I was just a quiet, unassuming little boy, to be honest. Even when I went in first team, I wasn't the one hollering and shouting too much in the dressing room. But when I come on a pitch, like I said, I've had to find a way through my life. And that was a little bit aggressive. It was a little bit fighty. I can't fight. But when I walk on the white line, that was, I wanted to be a footballer. So I had to fight to be a footballer.
Yeah.
I had to find ways
You were tough, you were a tough fullback to play.
But I
You
was
screamed at Gary, remember?
Yeah, I know, a few times. A few times. But no, I always saw it as like a jewel. You're trying to take my, not livelihood away, but a little bit. You're trying to take my job off me.
Yeah.
You tear me a new one, I'm out of the team, you're taking my dream away. That's not going to happen. So I had that kind of mentality. And again, that was a little bit Don Howe, Don Givens, then Tony Adams, Keown. Them, they really influenced me in how I was as a character. And then, of course, going through my career, like you said, I was never really involved or wanted to be a coach. When I went to LA Galaxy, I started to enjoy watching and studying football and understanding. I was getting a little bit older, so I had to understand football a little bit more. Yeah. I couldn't just be the Ashley Cole of the Premier League. I couldn't run, I couldn't move. We're playing in different weather and conditions. So I had to find ways to play against these young kids in the MLS, and it was tough
Especially
for me.
there, that's
Because
the wingers cheat.
They're just always, staying high and wide and, do I go? So I'm like, okay, let me start studying the game in a different way. Not as a player, as a coach. Started to take a few meetings, do some unit work, and I thought, well, if I do want to be a coach or a scout, I need to understand the game more. So then that's when I came back from LA and started doing my badges.
What's your ambition as a coach in respect of where you'd like to be in a few years' time?
I definitely want to give it a go.
You want to manage?
Yeah. It's quite hard when you're a number two to be measured on if I'm good or not. You only know by people and what they think of you. Obviously, I work for Wayne. I don't know how he thinks of me as a coach. Am I good? Am I bad? I can only get that through feedback. So it's quite hard to measure if I'm half decent or not. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling I'm getting ready. I'm nearly there. I am different. I don't speak as well as certain managers. I have to find my way in the game. Yeah. I have to find my own personality, be authentic. But like I said, as a player, maybe I didn't lead in the dressing room. But of course, going back to the start of my journey as a coach, I found a way to lead and push people and bring people on a journey with me. We're just trying to tell stories, right, and make these players believe what I'm saying. And feels like
I think all that will help when you do go into a manager's job. All that going back into the Chelsea under 15, that's something which I regret not doing.
Getting that ground.
Going into like under 18s or whatever, because I went from playing to straight to managing, so I missed all that actual coaching part of it. So it's when I look back now, like what Wilshire's done at Arsenal. Yeah. Look back and you think that's probably something
like an apprenticeship in terms of coaching,
because that's obviously the important part of it. Then I'm looking at thinking, well, I need to get good coaches around me then.
I think you're right now for the 2025 football team. I mean, obviously, I went in for 4 months. And it was a little bit different, but the thing that I felt most naked on was when I went on the grass first time to coach a team. A lot's happening. You doing 11v11. I mean, we've all been there. And you look at some of the coaches like Roy Hodgson or Steve McLaren or Carlos Gay, all the coaches that you'll have played, they make it look really simple and calm and easy. The spacing's right. They know when to stop it. All that is a fine art of hundreds and thousands of hours of work. And I found myself well short in that department.
Yeah, but everyone's got a different journey. I don't think that's for everyone, honestly. I don't think.
I think now though, Roy, as a coach, you don't think you would need to be that.
Yeah, but you get people around. Yeah, but I think sometimes like Wayne's experience, or if you can work with the young kids, I think that might work for you actually. But other players, if it's timing and opportunities, sometimes you have to take on a job. And whatever you say about Wayne might look back and go, oh, that didn't. But there's still experiences that you can fall back on and use them going forward. Not everyone can go down lower leagues and get 100 games under the belt. You could lose your job in 3 months.
No, I mean, maybe sort of just doing grass work on the 15s and 18s side where it's a bit more out.
Maybe, especially if you're working at like a Chelsea or a Young, where you're working with really good quality players. Again, you want to be careful you don't drop too low. And that's not for everyone.
This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by ARNE Clothing. Super 6 are giving you the chance to win £250,000 this weekend. It's completely free to play. Just predict 6 scores this weekend and the money could be yours. And don't forget to join our mini league. You must join our mini league using the code S6-STF. S6-STF. Get your Super 6 picks in before 3 p.m. on Saturday, the 22nd of November, for a chance to win. 18 plus T&Cs apply. This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by ARNE Clothing. Ash, let's go back to when you break into the Arsenal team and you break in, what year you break in?
It would have been maybe early 2000. Yeah. So apprenticeship 98. So yeah, early 2000.
And it's a whirlwind for you, really. Your success straight away. You win the title in 2001 too.
Yeah. Look, I was just absolutely buzzing to be around these players. You know, at 16, 17, I never, ever imagined who I'd be around. You know, the players and what club I would be at. But then you have to quickly understand that you must be doing all right to be in and around these players. You must be at a level that they feel you can compete with these guys. And you have to stand up. And yeah, making my debut was really nerve-wracking, but again, I think the life lessons I learned and the people that I had around me helped me through it.
Was it after the Palace loan?
Yeah, so that was massive for my career, I felt. I went from playing reserve football, which back then was hard because you're playing against senior players anyway, but going to Palace, fighting relegation, going from playing in front of a man and his dog to now crazy Palace fans that are fighting for their lives. You're fighting for people's jobs. I think they was in administration. It was tough. But I've come from Arsenal. I'm cutting tube grip every day, you know, for my shin pads. They're like, no, son. You got to keep them for your first day. From day one to the end of your loan. You know, tube grip.
I used to cut those every day as well.
I did.
Arsenal, yeah, but not a Palace. They
We had
have
to
no
keep the
money.
tube grip every day for this.
And then it hit me like,
Yeah.
Right.
I'm fighting for something different here.
Wow.
Steve Coppell was my manager and I loved him. My first training session, he was like, who is this kid? I was way off it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was shy. I was intimidated by new people and they were lively. You had Clinton Morrison, Ian McKenzie and, you know.
I knew you were going to mention Clinton.
Yeah. I love him.
Clinton, you got to love Clinton.
Love him.
Oh, yeah.
But they were lively, so I was going into an environment that I've not experienced. And now I cannot sink, I have to survive.
Yeah.
And yeah, that made me really go from a kind of a boy to a man. And that's, you know, that's where I really
Where did you play? Was you playing up more further forward? Or?
No, I was left back, but I was just bombing up and down,
Right.
taking people on, influential in the final third. I can't believe you said I can't fucking attack. Hold a minute. Yeah, but yeah, so I had the license to bomb up and down and yeah, it just meant something to me. And then, now I've gained that experience of what it means to really play for 3 points.
Yeah.
And be a group that's fighting for something. And yeah, you go back to Arsenal and play with top players and at the time I just give him the ball. I didn't have a personality now to go.
Is it Perez and Henry that are playing at that time when you
Yeah.
first come in?
Yeah, when I first come in, Perez on the left, Thierry, Ray Parlour, Vieira.
Yeah.
Adams, Keane.
I mean, I always say this, that left side of Arsenal, to be fair, there are very few teams that we had to change for, but we definitely changed for that left side for about 3 or 4 years. Your movements with Henry and Perez were, I mean, it was, to be fair, destroyed most teams. You know, the right side where you had Ray Parlour and obviously you're a bit more solid.
Yeah.
But on the left side, it was just breathtaking and unbelievable.
It was never coached.
I can't, but I always used to think at the time that Wenger was a real coach, a real detail man, and that he put these sessions on where all these combinations and rotations of sort of, you know, Perez coming in and Henry coming out, and then you go. I always thought that was coached.
And it was probably a target or right side.
I didn't want to say anything. No, it wasn't. It was we just. I don't know why. Of course, when Thierry first came, I think he played on the left. Didn't he?
Yeah, on the left.
I played
I don't
on the
think he
left.
was. I don't know how good he was when he played off the left, but yeah, that adjustment just worked. I like to bomb up and down. Of course, Robert, right-footed, likes to come inside and open the pitch, and Thierry liked to open his body and finish from his right and open the goal. So it just flowed and just worked. It was nothing. It was like organic. It wasn't planned.
We talk about front threes, don't we, a lot? You know, like, you know, in football, so you talk about the Man United one in sort of 07 or we talk about the one at Liverpool and you think about maybe front twos of the past, but I can't remember almost like a three down the... I mean, you had a great relationship with Beckham, but in terms of like a full-back winger and sort of striker sort of combination, can you think
but
of
is it weird
anything else like that?
Is it weird for the defender all of a sudden to be up against players popping in the mid? You know, as you said, you were probably up. I'm against you. You're the winger. You're trying to get, and all of a sudden lads are going in pockets, and you're like, I don't want to go in there.
Right,
it did create problems.
It took us 2 years to work out, and in the end, I think we actually sort of half cracked it. Where if you followed Perez in as a right back, that's what they wanted you to do, because then Henry would spin out, and then your centre back's going out before you know it, you've changed your centre back and your full backs, and then he would come in, either in or out, and before you were done. And that happened to a lot of teams. What we actually did in the end was just stand still. Yeah. So we literally had... We literally had, say, it was Rio or Yapstam. It was Yapstam probably at the time, or maybe Wes and me. And then in front, we'd probably have, let's say, David Beckham or Alan Solskjaer and Darren Fletcher would play. And the four of us as a box, stand still. And sometimes you'd be thinking, what's going on? But if the four of you together and you stayed in your positions, there was always one of us near enough to what was going on.
Rotating to...
Yeah, you were rotating into us. So actually, we ended up just standing still against you in the end of the box, and it's the only way we could do it. But we used to pack that right-hand side. So let's say Roy was playing. We'd play three in midfield sometimes against Arsenal, where Fletch would come to the right-hand side, Roy would obviously stay in his position, and then Scholesy would be in there. But we'd actually have Fletch just sat there to the right in that channel where Perez would go into, in that pocket.
Yeah.
And in the end, we did okay against him. It took quite a lot of working out that over a year or two.
And then when all that was going on, Freddie Lumber, he was ready to make runs.
Freddie.
Time do you?
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
That's what we try to coach these young players now, and just older players or whatever. His timing and movement was unreal. Runs between fullback and centre back, he was unstoppable. Unstoppable.
Do you think you were the... I'm trying to think now, listen, we do punditry on the game, the Premier League, and we talk about rotations and players moving and fullbacks going into midfield and constant, as I said, movement. I always say that team that you're talking about was the toughest team I ever played against in terms of even European teams because of that. Do you think they were the first team to have what we take for granted now, where everyone's just popping up in different positions? Even when we were playing against you, and you were an unbelievable
Yeah, we were
team.
4-4-2.
But like, you knew who you're up against.
Yeah, but I still think we should bring it back. I don't want to be giving them too much praise either. You know what I mean? Really bring it back a little bit. I mean, come on.
No, but Carragher has said, to be fair, that's the best team he's ever played against. A lot of teams that played against that team say that they were the hardest team to play against, and I can understand why you would with what was happening, because it was just unbelievable.
Did a bit of everything there.
Who was the big voices and leaders in that dressing room? Who were the influences that you sort of went in there and thought, you know,
at the start or
at the very beginning when you first going in?
Tony, Martin, Dave Seaman,
Baldy?
Lee Dixon. No, Baldy was
Baldy's
there.
gone?
Yeah, he was gone. So I think from your team and your generation, it was just Tony left, Martin Keown left, left in the group. Lee Dixon, Dave Seaman, Ray Parlour, I would say. They were the main.
Aren't they so important, those senior players? Like,
Yeah.
you're on about learning off them.
Yeah.
It's so important.
Because we didn't really have a lot of young players coming through. I think I would have been probably the only one who was in and around, like...
You know others. Yeah, you know others. I can't think of anybody else that broke into that team.
We had some top players, by the way. Paolo Vanazza was top player.
Yeah, couldn't make
Our youth team was, like, unreal. We didn't win the FA Youth Cup. We lost to maybe an Everton team. But we battered them, but lost the game. But we had... we lost. It is what it is. But we had a real successful youth team, and we had Andrew Douglas, don't know if you know him, top players. But they just couldn't make that final hurdle. Arsene Wenger came in, and he still had a big top squad.
Yeah.
So we had the odd opportunity to come and train.
We need to know who
We need to know if that was anyone else.
Oh my goodness!
That's a dodgy call.
You have to answer it.
Oh, my phone's always off.
There is a God, there is a God.
Brilliant. That is
Jesus, Roy, that's not right.
Ash.
Honestly.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's a showstopper that.
God, I need a mini roll.
Where was I again?
I always remember that.
He's just said, well, them older players are so important to learn from.
Razza, do you know something?
I'm raging with that.
No, don't worry.
Rings me.
You go on
My
YouTube.
job's on silent.
You go on YouTube and your algorithm. There's an amazing press conference of him with the guy that's got his phone. Whose phone's that? Whose phone's that?
As Roy said, rude.
Can I tell you a quick story about that?
Yeah.
I done an Ipswich game last year for Sky. The guy whose phone was ringing came over and apologised. The reporter came looking for me. And I asked him, I said, well, why didn't you switch it off all them years ago? He said, I was nervous, I didn't know what to do, but he apologised for that. And I apologised for that.
No, don't be silly.
Really.
Whoever's made that phone call.
Whoever's ruined it.
All right, let it go, Ian.
No, we can't let that go, Roy. We've got to find out who that number was.
That is brilliant.
It was. I'm so happy. That's made my day, that has.
Ash, where were we?
Influential people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so they was top and integral in, you know, the Arsenal way.
Yeah.
I did have a few opportunities. I was an Arsenal fan, but I didn't have money to go and watch them. You know, it was through a friend. He got me a ticket and I would go. But walking through the marble doors, and there was some heritage there and some history.
Yeah.
And they continued that, you know, kept that legacy and understanding of this is Arsenal. You know, Tony Adams, shirt tucked in, armband, you know, he looked the part. And the foreign players that came in, the Thierrys, the Vieiras, I came in later than them, but they also continued that. So, you know, I had a huge amount of respect for these guys and understood I need to be part of that group and respect.
Great place to play one at Highbury.
Yeah, what a
great ground.
stadium, what a place.
What? Too small.
Even
We weren't too.
Oh, I loved it. It was so tight.
No, it was great for you.
Wasn't small
That's
enough
why
when you were playing.
I
It's not me.
know. Honestly, you had half a second to decide what you could do on the ball. You were like, I'm sorry, oh my, I hated it.
This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by ARNE Clothing. Ash, just quickly on Arsene Wenger, what was your relationship like with him?
At the start, respectfully, there wasn't kind of a relationship. He showed his trust in me by playing me. You know, I don't know how I don't know his relationship with the older players, the senior players, because I was just there. You know, you're in a dream, you're in a bubble, but I just turned up for training, trained. Oh, I'm starting. Wow. They didn't really say a word to me. It was
So he doesn't speak to you a lot now?
not really, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It was a good thing. He let me, you know, he let me play my game.
Yeah.
Because I don't think with the mistakes I was making at that raw young age, maybe if it was a Pep now, if it was a Klopp, whoever it is now, these top managers, maybe I'm out.
Yeah.
It wasn't play from structure. It was, okay, you make mistakes, learn from your mistakes. And the people I had around me helped me through my mistakes.
And so it went from a so obviously like a professional relationship where he wasn't speaking to you too much, but believed.
But not in a bad way, by the way.
But believing in you by playing you, and then as it moves into sort of like the Invincibles team, and sort of did it as you got older, did it start to develop that relationship or not?
Did it? No, we would be. cordial. You know, we had
Yeah.
the conversations, but it wasn't a deep relationship how I had with other managers. And again, I'm not battering him in here. That was just our relationship,
Yeah, yeah.
you know. And yeah, I just felt our relationship was strong because you're playing me week in, week out. So I'll just tell you one story. A time where I thought he should have spoke to me. We played one of my first games, Old Trafford. You batter us like, was it 6-1?
Yeah, yeah.
I got hooked at half time.
Was that when Stepanoff was playing with Gramola? Yeah.
Yeah, and Bex was literally just stepping into your position, dropping off right back and just going laser, in behind, goal, 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 goal. I get hooked at half time. And I'm devastated thinking, and it was my fault because Bex is delivering balls behind, but it wasn't my fault. I couldn't get nowhere near him. I'm like, my career's done. You know, as a 19-year-old, we go back to training the next few days, you know, no one says anything to me and I'm on the bike recovering and I'm down.
Yeah.
Lee Dix says, "You're right," and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm done. And he's like, "Has the boss spoke to you?" And I'm like, no. And they're like, he should speak to you. I think the elder players spoke to him and he hooked me because he didn't want me to continue that disaster. It wasn't my performance, it was he didn't want me anywhere near that because it was
He
embarrassing.
never spoke to you about it.
But he never told me that. If he would have told me, that might have, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? But that might have also allowed me to think, I'm untouchable, I can play bad and still get in the team. But when he didn't speak to him, like, right, I need to get my head down now and figure out why Bex kept dropping off me and lasering balls behind. And again, that will go down to me learning on job. He's going, I'm going to take his right foot out of it. I'm going to now defend more inside so he can't hit the laser. He can bend one around me when he's deeper because I know Sol Campbell and Adams will protect me. When we get further down the pitch and now he's in crossing areas, I'll stop the cross and I'll take his right foot out of it. Yeah. But they were the details that made me want to learn and understand the game a little bit more. So it was a great experience for me. It was an eye-opener saying I've got to be better. I need to really figure out how to stop these players because they are world-class players.
Obviously, we know that you left Arsenal, and that's massive, obviously, for you. You played in an unbelievable team. You've grown up as a fan there. When did the sort of contract stuff, who was your agent at the time?
Stella.
Yeah, so what your conversations, how's that move in terms of sort of to get to a point whereby one of Arsenal's own, playing in an unbelievable team, gets to a point whereby, where did that sort of feeling of like, they're disrespecting me with what's going on here, when did that start?
As mad as it was, I can't tell you exactly when it starts, it's more through the agent, but literally I would have signed for anything. What were they offering you, actually? What were they offering you at the time? So what were you on and what were they offering you?
I think we do a lot of finding out what people are on.
But enough water's passed under the bridge now to understand that, you know...
No, I think it might have been, look, it might have been 60 a week. It might have been 60 a week or 55.
That's what you wanted or that's what you were on?
That's what they kind of offered me, which I was delighted with. Like I said to you, and I don't think it wasn't incremental. It was just 5 years.
Bam.
I would have signed for.
Yeah.
I still wanted to be given my worth, but as a young boy, I'm living my dream. I didn't care.
So what happened then?
I didn't care the amount of the money.
Yeah.
But it was when they reneged. That was.
Oh, they pulled the contract on you.
That was my issue. That's what the whole issue is about. It's not about money. I would have signed for it. That was my.
So why did they pull the contract on you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Who was you dealing with at the time? With which one at Arsenal?
Look, I hear different things.
Was Mr. Dean involved?
Mr. Dean, Fisman, Keith Edelman. And I'm a young boy. I don't know. I'm getting.
So they've offered you a 5-year deal on that money, and then they've come back to you a few months later and said you're not having it, or
so then I go to a World Cup or Euros. I don't know which one. Do well.
Yeah.
Like now competing on a.
That's 2004, yeah?
Yeah.
That's the one where you play against Ronaldo and you mark him out the game. Not mark him out, but you do a great job on him, basically.
Is it 2004?
I think it's 2004.
Oh, it's 2 years. Okay, yeah.
2006, maybe, the World Cup. 2006 is World Cup.
I left 2006.
Yeah, so it's 2006.
But then, no, maybe it was 2004 and it just rumbled on for a year and a bit. Maybe it was. And yeah, I come back from having a quite successful tournament, and it was like, agent calls me and it's, right, they've reneged on it a little bit, it's take it or leave it, £5 less. And what I want, I don't care anyway. I'm saying I want people to understand I don't really care because I know. But when someone tells you their whole career, and I've never ever asked from the age of 17, I've never said, I want big money, I want big money, I want the same as it. It was never like that. Give me the contract, I'll sign it. This is my club. This is, you know, everything I've known. And now, of course, with that, yeah, there comes a little bit of stature. Now I'm getting bigger, but I'm still not asking for, in my mind, crazy money. And it was just the thought of them telling me every day, you know, you will be the future captain of this club. You are the heart of this club. You're going to be the next Tony Adams and all that, to then go, but actually, you're not actually worth it. And we don't value you as a person and what you give, not what I've given for the club, but like my journey as a 9-year-old. To me, that matters. From 9 years of age, I've given you everything. And then to do that, I'm like, cool.
So it's principle, really, in the end.
No problem.
Absolutely.
It's fine.
Do you think that's a little bit to do? Because there's always, you know, all of us have been sort of local lads and come through somewhere, but, you know, come through the big-sized clubs. Do you think it was because they sort of played on your loyalty? They thought you wouldn't leave. You're a local boy.
Yeah, because, you know, having conversations, I would go around either Mr. Dean's house and Arsene Wenger's house, and, you know, they would tell me how much they love me and value me. And I'm not blaming anyone here, like individually, I don't know what their conversations were behind closed doors. I don't really know. I'm just going off what I was told and the conversations I had. It's not my fault, it's not his fault. You know, we know you want to stay, and I'm like, yeah, but we can't do it. Can't give it up. Okay, then you shouldn't have said it in the first place.
Yeah.
Did they not, so once you've then sort of said to them, oh, no, you've reneged on what you're offered initially, it's a little bit less, did they not then, over the next sort of 6 months, think, oh my God, we're going to lose Ashley Cole here over £5,000?
Maybe.
Did they not
Maybe.
come back, go back to it?
But this is the thing, like, I have to respect them as well. Financially, could they have done it? I don't know. Was there internal issues with the money? I don't know. You know, new stadium, they had to finance that and pay for that somehow. So I don't really know the real deep ins and outs of their conversations and their rationale for taking it away. But in my head, I'm going, you took it away.
Did that put doubt in your mind what they think of you as a player as well?
It's a little bit. They were my love. You know, that was my club. And I did feel a little bit devalued and underappreciated. A little bit. So that was where my head and heart was at. I was like, nah, you've took my love away. And I don't think it needed to get to that stage or be like this.
Did Arsene Wenger get involved in it? He must have got involved in this.
Yeah, I think he was trying hard to keep me, but again, I really don't know. You know, I think
he never spoke to you about it, or he never came over and said. Because it's interesting. I think, I mean, to be fair, Sir Alex, whether he would definitely get involved at a stage like that. Would he got involved in? Yeah, he would have got involved in yours, wouldn't he?
Because that's starting to get really nuts. It's all over the place when it's terrible.
I think a manager, to be fair, has to that stature
Should have been in.
and that control at that time, because he built 2 or 3 great teams and he'd won 3 titles by then. He must get involved in that and
maybe
just deal with it.
Yeah. Maybe he did. But again, I was, like I said to you, I was shy and unassuming. I didn't want drama with, this is Arsene Wenger, you know. He's gave me my debut. I respected him, and that's why you have an agent to negotiate that. It was not, you know. They shouldn't actually, even the flip side, they shouldn't be coming to me asking me, like, oh, take it. Like,
it should have been really simple, really, shouldn't it?
Should have been simple. Should have been simple.
When's the first contact with Chelsea? When's that point where you think, right, I'm going to have to leave? Once that moment happens, when is it?
The aim was, and the conversation was about going abroad. And again, through what I was told and heard, I was going Real Madrid.
Had they come in for you at that time?
I don't know how deep they went, but it was.
That was a club.
I was going to have conversations with another agent I could pre-sign for teams abroad.
Okay.
At the time, so it was Madrid, kind of the Barcelona. And again, I don't know how deep it was, but it was, you know, I'm looking to pre-sign a deal here to go abroad.
Yeah.
Things changed, got married, didn't actually want to leave the country in the end. And maybe a year and a half later, I remember sitting in my box, I was injured at the time, and sitting with my agent, and then actually him calling me outside my box and going, "You're never going to believe who this is. It's Chelsea." And it was like, okay.
Was that Jose directly or?
No, I don't know who Dave spoke with. And within that, there was the old tapping up stuff as well. You know, I was seen in a hotel signing with Chelsea. I didn't realise that being where I was caused all of this. I'm an innocent boy. I walk in the front of a hotel, go in the front of a hotel. There was no hidden meeting. I walk in to have a conversation with a different agent.
What month was this, Ash? Was it like before the end of the season?
Jesus Christ!
No, what I mean was it before? No, I'm trying context. Was it before the end of the season? Obviously.
Yeah, it would have been before the end of the season. Yeah.
What did you have for lunch at all?
Sandwiches. Yeah, I probably didn't eat either.
So Ash, what you're saying, that there's no way you're going in covertly, are you? You're going in like because you're going to meet an agent to
I
sort it.
walked in the front of the hotel.
Yeah.
It's like,
Again, that's the press.
but
that's
it
what they
was,
wanna-
you know, a waiter said, "Oh, there was contracts on the
Oh
table."
my God!
There might.
That was a waiter.
Of course, it's a waiter.
I was having a conversation to have pre-talks. It could be Madrid, it could be it could be...
So what happens? So Mourinho just happens to be... So what are you going to the hotel? You're not going to the hotel to meet Chelsea.
The agent.
It was his birthday. So this is what I found out after. It was his birthday. Can I say the agent's name? Pinnis Harvey.
Yeah, Peony.
Good friends with them. Don't even know if Jose was there. It might have been Peter Kenyon. I don't, and again, maybe Jose was there, but he was giving him a present, and maybe they had a meeting before. I've walked in, they walked out. It was that simple in my brain. In my mind. That's what it was.
They've done you up.
So is this before, you know, before you just said someone
Someone's
called
done
your
you up.
agent and it was Chelsea?
This is before. This is before.
Oh, that's before that?
This is before,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So that was the drama. That's how it all kicked off. So then newspapers, you know, tapped up, he's going Chelsea because a waiter said there was a contract on the table for Chelsea.
We need to find
The
a
papers have run with that. I had to deal with all of that, and then we play against you again at Highbury, and I think it broke that day.
Wow.
I think that's when Ronaldo, you might be us 4-2.
Was that the one where you screamed in my face?
That was
Probably.
that was the tunnel.
Was it that one?
No.
What one?
That was the tunnel one, the 4-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I was arguing because I knew you were leaving.
Yeah.
He's jumping ship.
I loved it,
Mourinho
though.
was the waiter, was he? Yeah.
That was, even that argument was brilliant, wasn't it?
Just to finish off this conversation around Chelsea and Arsenal.
Yeah.
What the Arsenal are offering you 55, and Chelsea, you're going to Chelsea. What are they offering you?
You're obsessed with me.
No, I'm not. I'm just not. What I'm saying to you, we're talking because people listening to this will have people listening to this will be 18, 20, 21-year-old at a company that they've come through the ranks at, and won't be getting the pay and the pathway that they deserve, and they'll feel like they should be offered more. This happens in real life as well.
I'm not going to say how much I got at Chelsea, but I tell you, close enough. It was maybe 5 or 6 grand more than what Arsenal.
Wow.
It wasn't a lot more.
So 60.
This is what I'm saying.
So it wasn't a lot more, no?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what would be interesting to find out is to find out what happened there with Arsenal. Over 5 grand, 6 grand. What has happened? Why has that gone to the point where Arsene Wenger's not getting involved?
Maybe he was, right. I'm not saying he wasn't.
It doesn't make sense though, Ash, because like you're Ashley Cole, and you know, a left back, future of Arsenal, everything was for 5, 6 grand. So that's got to be, that development's got to be arrested and say, whoa, what's going on? No, sort it out. You know what I mean, Roy?
Well, at the time as well, you were the best left back in the world at the time.
Yeah.
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 There is
It's not.
there is an element though. There is an element of sometimes with managers or football clubs, they do think that they can get fullbacks cheaper, and that's not a priority position if you've got a budget that you can play for. They disrespect the position sometimes of fullback, and you can laugh. You can laugh.
You let them.
Yeah, you can laugh.
Yeah.
Your team fallen off the edge of a cliff this year because of fullbacks. Fucking hell.
I knew you should have.
Honestly, fucking hell, they've disrespected fullbacks and tried to bring in 2 young lads, and all of a sudden they fall off the edge of a cliff because of it.
Right.
Anyway, Ash, going back to it, so I want to ask you a question about, if you think about the Invincibles versus Jose Mourinho's Chelsea,
Wow.
Yeah.
Who wins that game?
Wow.
Oh, take your time on this one. Come on.
Who's the better team?
question.
I'll ask you different.
No,
Who's
sorry.
the better team? Who do you think's the better team? Invincibles or the Chelsea team that you played under Mourinho? Because they're both amazing.
Look, I love both, playing in both teams. But what I will say is we couldn't beat that Chelsea team.
I get that.
So
It was tougher physically, just...
Chelsea.
when Jose came to the Premier League,
Yeah.
us-
We struggled with it.
Yeah.
we could just not beat them.
Yeah, we struggled with it.
We couldn't break them down. I think they win the league 2 years in a row. Whether that's the tactical element, whether that's, they're set up better than what we were, Jose effect, but we couldn't beat them.
Yeah, they're a good side.
That's why I don't put the Invincibles as being the best team that I played against, because we, I think, could beat them. I don't think we could beat the 98 team. They were physical, they were massive, and the same with the Jose team of mid-2000s. They were just physically massive and just very difficult for us to play against in terms of that type of thing. It's interesting that you say that.
Drogba was a player, wasn't it?
Yeah, Drogba. Jesus.
He
changed it, didn't he?
He was unbelievable.
This episode of Stick to Football is brought to you by ARNE Clothing. Who's the player? Because I don't remember. We always look back with our careers with rose-tinted glasses, but I don't remember anybody getting the better of you because I feel like you always were one-on-one brilliant.
No, I've been ripped.
Yeah. Who's given you the biggest doing as a sort of left back where you thought I've been done there, like they've done me like this? The player that was toughest for you.
Just one-offs or...
Just the one you've got off the pitch that I couldn't handle him.
Joaquin, Spain away.
In the Bernabeu.
Wow.
Yeah.
He played till he was quite old as well, didn't he?
I got dragged at half time.
Did you?
That's where you threw an orange at someone, wasn't it?
Oh, what?
No, sorry. No, you didn't. You threw your armband. You threw your armband down on the floor, didn't you?
It's like an orange.
Did you?
Yeah, I pushed because I should have been sent off. That's why he took me off.
Yeah.
Because he just didn't touch the ball.
What was it about Joaquin? What was it? Because he doesn't give me the... when you think of Joaquin,
He's a hell of a
it wasn't
player.
tricky.
No, but he's
great
clever,
pace
wasn't he?
and-
Clever.
Nah, mate, you get him running at you and he's doing the step overs and he was physically strong.
Big lad.
Go left. Yeah, he's bigger than you think.
It's great when
Go
people
left,
say that to a
go right.
defender. He's not that quick, is he?
Yeah, let me tell you.
Run against them. Try run against these lads.
And he was like nutmegging me, and of course it was the racial stuff as well. So mentally I wasn't there, but he taught me a lesson.
I want to talk to you about that, Ash. You said just there, mentally I wasn't there. And I've spoken about this quite a lot since. It's the biggest level of abuse I've ever seen a football player get on the football pitch from a racism point of view. The monkey chants were consistent and constant all the way through the game. And I've said, like, looking back... that,
Sean was playing in that. Was
Sean, yeah.
And I've come in the dressing room, you're a left back, I'm right back, I'm number 2, you're number 3, and never asked you whether it mentally impacted you, how we just literally used to get on with it when things like that happened. To be fair, I used to get on with it. You just said there mentally you were struggling. Have you ever said that before? Because at the time, I remember you say you came out publicly at the time. What impact did it have on you, that game? Because it was obviously horrific.
Impact. No, I think after it, because no one ever really spoke about it, it just kind of got brushed away and you forget about it. In game, of course, it was affecting me. I couldn't focus. Obviously, there was a little incident with the manager as well where he half like froze the ball at me. I don't know if you can remember it. Or I go to get the ball from
Spain's manager.
Yeah. Aragonis?
Yeah, didn't he say something? He was
With Henry and Reyes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
So the ball's bounced out, and I've gone to run to get it off the sideline, and he's like, he's either threw it away or threw it at me, and then I'm like going to argue with him, and
that kicks on again.
yeah, just mentally I just wasn't there, and I'm getting ripped, so it was a bit of both. But when you're seeing like nans and granddads, doing the monkey chant at you in the crowd, it's like, oh, wow. But I had it before, Valencia away, I had it as well.
With Arsenal?
With Arsenal, one of my first Champions League games. It was similar. And it's like, how do you react? In real life, on the street, you're probably fighting. On a pitch, you're the one that's going to get in trouble. So you have to
I don't know.
Have a
That's
calm
still
head.
happening in Spain now. I don't know exactly right now, but like Vinicius Junior still has that now, doesn't he?
gets a lot,
Sort of in the last sort of year or two.
Yeah.
Ash, we were talking last week on the show about because Raheem came to see me in 2016, and then obviously we were talking last week about Jude and about what he's sort of going through a little bit at the moment. You've experienced that, I think, to be fair, all your life, haven't you? In terms of you never really got the credit for your level. Do you feel that was down to obviously race in respect of you constantly were the best player in your position, constantly the best player in the world? Do you feel you were constantly disrespected and underappreciated because of that or not?
No, what? Because of my colour?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. No, not in my opinion.
The quote, I've got a quote of that when Raheem stood up in 2019, he said, "I praise Raheem for when he stood up and was brave enough to do it, because I couldn't do it because I thought no one cared and no one's going to listen." Again, it's a kind of my fault because when I got abused, I didn't come out, but I just feel like I didn't have the support. I think Raheem has changed it and he's got people on his side where I don't think I had that. That's what made me think it. Did you not think people supported you to be able to at the time? And I can understand why, because to be fair, that dressing room in 2003 when we came in, we got on with our lives. We didn't come in and sort of support you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there's two sides to that. There's the football element, and then just how people live their lives. And yeah, the minute I got in that dressing room, it was, like I said, it was football based as well, because I'm not playing well. But then certainly, yeah, no one supported me really. Not just me, but Sean. Who else was there? I don't know if it was Emil. There was a couple. And I remember just sitting in like the hot tub, or they had like a plunge pool, I think, in there.
Yeah.
In the dressing room. And I remember just sitting in there going like, oh, one day, like, I admired this club. You know, it's top club. Is that what you're going to get when you play here? I don't know. So yeah, mentally, it probably did affect me. But again, going through my career, I've probably had a lot on my shoulders. You know, I've had to go through a lot, and I've always been, I keep quiet. I never want to blame anyone else. I never want to put my stresses onto other people. That's just how I am. But now growing up, I understand that's probably not the right thing to do. You need, you know, release. I think if you talk about mental health, I probably would have been diagnosed as, to go through what I've been through was crazy. But to me, it was nothing. I just, you know, just brushed it off as if, oh, I have to deal with this. I have to be strong. I don't need to speak to anyone. I'm not saying I had mental health, by the way, but I think what I went through was hard. You know, divorce.
I think
newspaper.
what we were talking about on Jude, I think there was a perception of you around about that time of it being a bit
flashing,
and then obviously I got to know you more in the England squad, and I was thinking
He's not like that.
it's not like that at all. So I think that's happening with Jude a little bit now as well, where what you were talking about.
Yeah.
There's a picture made of you. And
Yeah, that's why I
then it's hard to come away from that. It's hard for people to understand that actually. I used to go around to people used to say, "Oh, what's Ashley Cole like?" And play, he's a good lad. But they couldn't get their heads around. I think everyone thought, "Oh, he's flashy. He does this. He does this." Well, I think that's happening to Jude now.
You did have that. I mean, one you've just mentioned there about like private stuff as you get divorced, but you did have a spell. It felt like for about 12 months where you were constantly in the papers, sort of negativity, constantly around that sort of Arsenal, Chelsea thing, and obviously, you know, whatever goes on off the pitch. But it did feel like that.
I was going to say, I think the media, and again, parts of course caused by me. I'm not silly to go, it wasn't partly inflicted by me. Of course it was. But I would say they definitely had an agenda against me. 1 million%. 1 million%. And I think it came from, I think firstly so we spoke about David Rocastle. He passed away. I was just getting a new car. I said to Amanda, our press officer at the time, take the car. So it was an Audi. I said, take the Audi TT, sell it at David Rocastle's auction at his charity night, and you keep the money. So I was giving David Rocastle and them a car, right, to support the family or whatever it was. Amanda, the press officer, of course, doing her job, saying, we need to publicise this. You've got to do some interviews about it and let's get the auction price up for your car. And I'm like, nah, I was shy. Like I said, I was shy. I didn't want to speak.
Yeah.
Didn't have any media training. It was just me.
No, you never did speak either.
No.
You were always really quiet in the England camps.
But in the end, she persuaded me to do an interview with maybe the Times, I don't know which one it was, about this car. They went, okay, you're not going to do the Sun, whatever. You do it with a respected newspaper, more respected newspaper. You do it with the Times, and you'll get more respected by doing it. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I advertise this car, selling it. I'm giving it away. Like, I give it to David Rocastle's auction because he was my idol and for the reasons I said and spoke about before. They done another article about this article saying I'd done it for publicity. So after I'd done that, I'm like, I am done. I said to the press officer, Amanda, I didn't want to do this interview.
Right.
I wanted to just give you my car and give it to my idol. Don't ask me to speak to them again. I am done. I'm getting ripped. I'm doing this for publicity. I'm like, what the hell? A year, 2 years later, we're again at a tournament. Oh, Brazil, when Dave Seaman gets lobbed.
Yeah.
I'm behind him. Still my teammate, England, Arsenal. I'm behind him, walking through the mix zone. David, can I have a word? David's like, you know, on the brink of retiring, just been lobbed. We're out of the World Cup. No, I'd rather not. And I see them all in the mix zone and they're laughing at him. So as I'm walking past, Ash, can we have a word? And again, my aggressive nature.
Told him.
I said, fuck off. I said, you treating people like that? He's a legend.
Yeah.
He's just been lobbed. Respect him. Oh, no. We wasn't laughing at him. I said, F off. I was fuming, by the way. Going, no, you don't disrespect my teammate like that. Like, show respect. They called, again, my press officer, and she told me this after, and said, Ashley's done. Said, who does he think he is? Blah, blah, blah. Wearing an earring. He's flash. And I'm like, that's actually not me. But I am done with you. I'm never speaking to you again. And that was where it kind of...
escalated from there.
And I didn't back myself. Every time a story come out, I'm just like, oh, it's on my shoulders. It's on my shoulders. I just take it. And that a little bit was my fault. This day and age, for sure, I'm going on Instagram and Twitter and I'm backing my points up. But back then, you know, you had to just deal with it a little bit in silence. And that's just how I felt. And that's how I was as a player.
And you did, am I right in saying that you didn't speak to the press again for the rest of you?
I probably had to do the odd interviews, but I was like, I'm done. I'm done. But then that just gave them ammunition to just keep going, because they knew I wouldn't go back to them. So I would just sit and duck, really. Yeah, they could just say
anything.
And what? I mean, obviously you had an incredible career. What do you make of the England? You know, obviously we've all been part of that generation. What's your thoughts on looking back in terms of why we didn't win and why we ended up the place that we did?
I like really reflecting now and being in the position I am now, coaching and understanding and working with the England seniors and seeing the dynamics of it and seeing what they have to what we had, to see, and again, how we try to coach them and our thought process. So as managers, as coaches, I think we could all see, in my opinion now, it just didn't work. I think to get all of them players on the pitch, so to get out that 3 midfielders in, to get all of the top players on the pitch together, in my opinion, I feel it does not work if people and I say swallow the ego, we can't all be what we are for our clubs. So I go, Paul Scholes cannot be the top Paul Scholes we know with Steven Gerrard in the team. Because Stevie G cannot be the Stevie G in the team with Paul Scholes. Lampard cannot be the Frank Lampard for Chelsea with also them two in the team. So tactically, was we set up to win? Was the players open enough to sacrifice a little bit of themselves? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People have to be a little bit more selfless. And I don't think we were. I think Scholesy wanted to hit his Man U diags. Bex wants to hit his Man U diags. Stevie G wants to, get the ball from us defenders and drive and push and get us up the pitch, maybe too quick. Us as defenders are going, I want to attack. I'm not getting the ball in behind. So that's my strength, attacking. Even if I'm just making overlaps to give someone else space, but then there was no one else in that pocket because Owen wants to go behind. Wazza, when Wazza comes in the pocket, did we get enough people running beyond him? No, because Wazza turns in the 10 pocket. Who we got running behind has no support because our midfielders might want to get the ball from all the defenders. It just didn't work.
Do you admire Tuchel then right now in terms of he's leaving basically players out who we all think are probably great players because they don't fit the system or they are in a similar position? He's not trying to fudge it by maybe putting them all in the team.
Yeah. I'd like to give myself and Lee Carsey some credit, actually. But no, look.
You laid the foundations, Ash.
Yeah, that's it.
Again, I do understand the media. It is tough for managers and coaches to leave big players out. But ultimately, if you want to win, you have to give. You have to give on something, and whether people's jobs are on the line. And again, to us as if we want to say I'm a pundits now, we have to give something up. Pundits maybe don't know the actual details of what we're going after. But also as coaches, we have to understand what comes with that. You leave out a top player, of course we're there to be criticised and asked the question of, that's football. But we have to live and die by decisions that we make and leaving people out. It will burn you if you don't win and don't succeed, dropping top players. But if you win, you're going to look like a genius in the end.
Ash, I'm going to ask you one last question, as I know you've got to shoot. So you've got to pick one of Bellingham, Rodgers, Palmer, Foden. Eze could play to the left, I think, a bit more.
I just wanted to say the name.
It's fine. Eze, only one can be number 10. We know that Bukayo Saka's going to be on the right. You think that probably Eze or Rashford or Gordon's going to be on the left. Who that one? Because I think Rice and Anderson are going to play. Who's playing there out of all those? Who are you picking, having worked with them all? Who's the one that you think, he has to play?
They're all top players.
Incredible.
We all know. Top players. But if I have to select one, I go Jude. Simple fact that moments. There was moments where, we were on the sideline also going, does he look gassed here? We need to take him off when we was in charge. We need to take him off. Jude, are you okay? You want to come? You're going to have to come off. Run. Boom, moment, goal. Boom, moment, goal. Boom, moment, goal. You can't pay enough money for that. Big moments in games when you need someone to deliver. He will deliver. So, in my opinion, that would be my selection and my player that I would select. But again, that's me. That's,
I think
he's got his own way of thinking.
Yeah, but the thing is, Ash, with what you're saying now, I think everybody around the table, with what he's done up to this point for England, that alone is what you'd probably say, he pips it. It's not like we're trying to say, it's got to be him for... It's because he's earned the right to do that. And that's why we know he'll be there. If he's not
But he's
injured.
a character as well, and you want players with character as well who who get annoyed when he's not having the best game or he's getting taken off.
But on the flip side,
Top players, do you all do that?
the team has to function. The team has to function well. And so, again, it's what are you giving up? Is Jude going to give you something that Cole Palmer don't or Phil Foden don't? And is Cole Palmer going to give you something that Jude might not be able to give you? That's, you're going to have to swallow that, and that's what you're going to live and die by. But again, taking people on this journey, like I said, how we done it, I think he's influential for that group.
Saying that Palmer's talented, isn't he?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
They all are, aren't they?
All unbelievable.
Palmer in terms of raw talent.
Yeah.
Got some team.
Ash, thank you very much. Great to see you, and all the best to you in the future. Hope you management career goes well when you finally get in there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ash. Well done.
No, no, no.
Well done, Ash. Well done, Ash.
Nice one, nice one.
Sorry about the phone again.
Nah, don't be silly, mate.
Really
Don't be
sorry
silly.
about
That was hilarious.
Yeah, I hope it is, bro. Honestly, that's the last.
We need to know who it is, though, Roy.
If you know
That was
something, if that
hilarious.
was
Roy, who was it?
that was
I don't
me.
know.
You don't have a look?
No,
it was
a
a spam,
number.
like
It was a
spam
spam
fucking
number.
thing.
I'm silent.
I thought I had on silent, Gandhi.
It's like if that was. I can't imagine what would happen if that was me. I'm so happy that's happened. Make sure that goes in.
Oh, it's going in.
Nice.
Righty.
I love him.
I'll decide that.